Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty video. Now in today's video, right now sort of late night, Treyarch just released some patch notes of things they are changing from week 1 of the Black Ops 4 beta going into week 2 of the beta, which starts in just a couple hours from when I'm making this video. I want to talk about the most important things from this patch notes and my opinions on them going into the second weekend of this Black Ops 4 beta, which I'm going to be excited to get my hands on the game a little bit more, play more and experience more different weapons and of course a higher level cap eventually. But basically we're going to be covering those patch notes. If you guys could drop a like on today's video, I would really appreciate that. Let's go for 805 likes. That would be amazing if we could hit that. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and not already subscribed, and let's get right into it. So the main thing is there were some general fixes to stability and performance, basically trying to optimize matchmaking and make sort of the wait times in the menus a little bit less, because there were sort of issues where wait times were like 80 seconds in some pregame lobbies. They would go back down and then it would be like gonna start in 5 seconds, but then a person would leave the match, another person would join, you'd be back up to that 80 second counter. Basically they're trying to fix different stuff like that while traversing the menu, stability and performance. Next changes are to different stuff. Basically they adjusted the movement a little bit. They made it so that they reduced your default jump height. They added tuning that scaled down jump height on subsequent jumps, so it basically prevents bunny hopping, because that was sort of a strategy people were using and exploiting during the beta, so they're trying to stop that one. Next, they reduced the default slide speed and also the default slide distance, basically just trying to nerf the movement a little bit, which I don't really agree with these choices. One thing that I really did enjoy about the beta was how it didn't feel like it was boots on the ground, because it is boots on the ground, but it has all that advanced movement and it sort of goes back, like advances in sliding and different stuff like that. And that sort of takes me to COD Ghost, which I think had probably one of the best movement systems before this game, and I'm hoping this game, you know, continues to replicate that. But those movement changes I definitely am not the biggest fan of as far as those ones go. Next thing is with body armor. With body armor, they actually did a lot of different stuff. They addressed an issue where players wearing body armor had no flinch when taking damage. So that was, if that was really going on in the first weekend of the beta, that is maybe why body armor players were so unbelievably strong, is because they really didn't take flinch just because of some bug. Anyway, that should be fixed. Now players who are wearing body armor are dealt a percentage of damage rather than the armor blocking full damage. Now this is interesting. It's basically saying that they're going to do less damage, or the body armor is going to protect you from less damage, but they don't really give us the actual percentile, so we're left guessing on this one. It kind of doesn't really give a good result when it comes down to that. They also say that killing a player with body armor now awards an additional plus 25 score per kill, so you basically get a bonus for taking down that extra health that they have with the armor. You get your time rewarded with a little bit of an extra points on the kill, plus 25. That's basically what they have for body armor changes. The next thing that received some tuning was the Cosmic device, which is basically this game's edition of Hardline. Allows you to earn your streaks a little bit faster and easier, but you'd have to replace either your stem shot or body armor with it, so Cosmic device wasn't seeing too much love. Basically they just reduced the cost of a bunch of the score streaks to earn, so making it a little bit stronger of a hardline effect with the Cosmic device. Also some changes to how healing works in this game, which is something you want to pay attention to over these first couple patches coming out with this game, because healing is such a different aspect in this game. Basically the changes coming through for that one is that on stim shot and a standard heal, for the both standard heal and stim shot heal, time to full health has been sped up with an increase to the heal cooldown time. So this is kind of inadvertently, I think this helps people not using stim shot, because stim shot, the big thing was speeding up the time, but if they just sped up the normal time a little bit, I think people not using stim shot will inadvertently get a little buff from this. I'm not 100% on that, but that's basically what the changes they did to that, as well as to the equipment charge. All equipment will charge faster with this gear, so a little bit of just a buff. One thing that I like about Call of Duty is how they always give the patch notes and stuff like that, but they don't always include the percentages or things down to the exact percentile like League of Legends, a game like that, will in their patch notes, which I understand because COD is more of a casual fan base, but I think that maybe including those numbers could be huge for people understanding the game and the game pushing into a more competitive realm. I'm not sure if that's just my opinion, but that's what we have for there. As far as changes to perks, they increased dead silence effectiveness versus acoustic sensor by reducing the ranges at which acoustic sensor can detect a player with dead silence. Flak Jacket, they hit it with a bit of a nerf because it was a bit too strong. Cold-Blooded reduced that delay the AI will take before recognizing a cold-blooded player by a little over 50%. You'll need to take cover a bit more quickly when enemy AI are roaming, so a bit of a nerf to the Cold-Blooded. With Dexterity, they actually, Dexterity, I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that. They increased weapon hip spread while mantling and reduced the slide duration, so a little bit of a nerf there as well. Ghost, decreased time that you are protected by Ghost after you stop moving. Tracker, increased the duration that footsteps remain in the world, so that's pretty good because I was running Tracker a little bit, so a buff to that is definitely awesome. And Tack Mask, they basically reduced its effectiveness against different stuff like that. As well as the specialists, some of them got some changes there as well. For the specialists, basically, the ones that weren't getting as much love, they've bumped them up. So players were going to ruin a bit too much, so they bumped up his gravity slam cooldown to help make sure that like everything is on an even playing field. So that's a nerf to him, right? But someone like Torque, they say that Torque wasn't up to snuff with other specialists to make him the true master, so they're increasing the duration of his barricade and improved damage on his microwave field, which is crazy because I thought Torque was one of the stronger ones from the first week of the beta, so there was changes to that. They also changed that the Nomad's dog, which would run at people super effectively and like jump at people, they basically slowed him down a little bit, so you do have a chance to shoot him down. But there were some changes there. Other changes were to the score streaks. There was a bunch of just very, very small, some are a little bit bigger, but balancing changes. But what I want to get to next is the weapons and the weapon balancing changes we had here, because basically they fine-tuned like everything to do with ARs and SMGs, which is good. I'm glad that I think we expected this after BO3 that Treyarch would be so in tap with the next game, but these changes are awesome. So let's start with the SMG, the GKS. The ADS recoil reduced for increased ADS accuracy, hipfire spread reduced for increased hipfire accuracy, improved high damage range, and improved ammo pool. So a bunch of buffs to the GKS. I think because that weapon was, I tried it out, I really didn't think it was the best, so obviously probably it was underused. So a little bit of buffs right there. Next is to the SMG, the Cordite. They actually increased the recoil, and with extended mags, they improved the bullets gain. So this is inadvertently, or not even inadvertently, this is definitely a nerf to this, increasing the recoil on the Cordite, which I thought was a pretty strong SMG from the first weekend. Next is the Spitfire, which I was loving the Spitfire. It was like the Vesper of this game. They've now increased the recoil, reduced ammo pool, and tweaked fast mags and extended mags. So yeah, they're definitely cutting down on the Spitfire use. I think everyone was loving that in the beta once they hit level 25. Next is the MX9, which I was using in this gameplay right here. A pretty solid gun. I don't think it was anything amazing, but definitely something that a lot of people would go to because of its early unlockability. But that's how it should be. You know, people should have a comfortable weapon for when they're going through the prestiges, but basically they just increased the weapon recoil on that one, so gave it more recoil. For the ARs, a lot of the AR changes that came in were basically the same across all of them. They improved the ADS in speed, improved your movement speed while ADS, and improved movement speed while firing in ADS. So just a lot of changes to sort of speed up ARs, which is awesome because ARs in this game I think were very, very strong. It's just how the map and how the game is designed in Black Ops 4 that it sort of catered more towards SMGs. But I definitely think ARs are very strong. And to see that they're fine-tuning this, they're also fixing stock attachments, making them a little more effective on certain weapons. One thing I want to see is that there should be stock available on every single AR, because a lot of people that are, you know, true COD fans like myself, I've been playing with ARs with Stalker since MW3, so it's kind of weird to try to ask someone to play without a stock or something like that. But these changes to speed up ARs, I remember when something similar to this happened in BO3, and that was because sort of they always have to balance the fine line between the SMG players and the AR players, and that's especially important for like competitive play. And of course, Call of Duty is one of the bigger competitive games in the world. Now, people are going to laugh at that because Of course, it's not the biggest, but if you actually look at the top list, it is a pretty popular game competitively. So they have to focus on that while also balancing their huge casual fan base. It can be tough, but when they find that balance, everything should go well. Anyway, those are the most important part of the patch notes. I'll leave a link down in the description to all of them if you want to check out every single thing to do with the patch notes. I'll leave a link down to the Reddit in the description. And that's about it, guys. Drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Have a great night, and I'm out. Peace.